Hello YouTube, Alan back behind the camera. Just thought I'd do a bit of an updated room tour. I haven't done one in a while, I've been meaning to, and I'm kind of looking for ideas, looking for inspiration. So I'm sitting down in my game chair and I'm literally... The viewpoint from the camera is pretty much my viewpoint in the room. And down here we got a supervisor who's probably going to contribute too. So, right in front of me, we have the CRT TV with some Lego decorations. And we have the consoles. So most of these consoles are all hooked up at the same time. You have your Nintendo ones at the top, Sega at the right, NES, Atari, Jaguar. Actually, just behind that bag there's an Xbox original. So there's a whole host of stuff all set up, and just underneath the TV, you probably can't really see it with this camera, is the switcher boxes. I've got 3 switcher boxes that I use to kind of switch between them. I try to hook everything up on RGB SCART where possible, but it's not always possible. Things like the NES without massive modification and the Atari 7800 don't really do RGB SCART. Plus, RGB SCART and SCART in general, it's getting harder and harder to get good equipment, good cables, and especially good switch boxes. I have a massive problem with shielding on that. But anyway, this is where I sit, and I'd go over here into these tubs. I got a big box there, well, 2 boxes, and they basically house controllers and whatnot. It's kind of partially storage, hence why I got Amazon boxes and stuff, which are just stuff basically that I haven't taken out of boxes. A few bits of Lego there. Picture frames too that I haven't put anything in yet. But that's basically where my controllers are. So I fish a controller out, hook them up here, shove in a game, and away I go. Now, one downside of that is, as you can see, well, she's actually disappeared. She's been nice and quiet. Ashley's bed is down here. So, retro consoles, of course, wired, like you can see the SNES one. I always feel slightly bad about traipsing a cord over Ashley's head. Makes me disinclined to play slightly. But yeah, I should have mentioned, I suppose, that's a Calyx unit from IKEA, which is pretty decent for hooking up multiple game systems. And the picture is a jigsaw. It's a Super Mario Brothers Wii, New Super Mario Brothers Wii jigsaw from the Nintendo World Store. And in an IKEA frame. I haven't hung it up yet. I'm not entirely sure where to put it. I'm thinking of, I could put it up there somewhere, because there's plenty of space, you see, on the wall. And this is partially what this video is about, looking for ideas on what to do with the space. And because this is a dormer, the room angles, so you can see the angle off the roof there. I mean, I possibly will put stuff there as well. I actually have some Space Invaders stickers that I was thinking of putting there. Just haven't finalized the stuff. But let's move over. This here, I'm actually slightly on Ashley's bed, so it's just, well, she's moved off, is where the modern systems sit, you know, because it's a modern TV. And you see beside it we have 2 banks of power plugs. Usually only one will be turned on at any one time. I don't leave them on, because it'd just be ridiculous. Otherwise, there's so many plugs there. And like, I mean, the cables are a mess. This picture isn't going to bring it really home, but they're a mess. So on that one, then you have like the Wii U, the Xbox, the PlayStation 3, and I think that's probably all that's hooked up. There's a few other bits, but they're not hooked up there. And this TV isn't even properly mounted. It was just temporarily sat on the unit instead of mounted on the unit. It's just been sitting there. And beside that, actually completely unrelated, that's a media server. So that's just feeding, you know, videos and music around the place, including to the PlayStation 3, it has to be said, which is handy. And in the front, then we have latest pickup, Dreamcast. I'm thinking of changing something here. Well, for a start, I've been wanting to fix my capture device. The current one that myself and Tony used, well, the last time we did a proper gameplay video, it doesn't seem, we can't get it to work. So I've ordered a new one, and I'm hoping to start recording some footage again, but it's going to be HDMI based. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of record a mixture of new and old content. If people have been following me on Twitter, they'll have seen I've been asking questions about the Retron or even a Wii U at homebrew. Because, as I said, when I have a doggy lying there, traipsing controllers across the floor isn't anywhere near as comfortable as a wireless controller. Yeah, so if anyone's got opinions on any of that, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And same with decorations. Look, there's plenty of space there. I mean, or maybe shelves. I'm not too sure. Look, more space there. Now, the room itself is relatively full, and I'm going to do a turnaround, so I'll be back in a second.